avionics alternator master mags. So here we are in something a bit different and something surprisingly interesting. It's a Vashon Ranger 2025. It's basically new. It's got, 23 hours on it or something. But I was surprised at how much I like it. Let's have a close look around it. There's a lot of little interesting, excellent things about this plane. So this is Mark at Skywagon University doing a video on we get different planes in and we talk about them if they're interesting. This plane is owned by another broker back east, but it was on the west coast, so I said, bring it here, I'll sell it. So I didn't really know what a Vashon Ranger was. And Greg, my #1 salesman, he went up to Oregon and picked it up and flew it down here. And it's only been here for like 2 days, and we're totally amazed by this thing. It's just there's a lot of little things you'd never think twice about, and no one's ever heard of one because they've only been around for 3 years. But this is an excellent plane, and we're going to do a review on it now, walk around it, talk about it, and then we're going to fly it. So I hope you enjoy it as much as we do. So a Vashon Ranger. Who's heard of a Vashon Ranger? I hadn't, but these are made in the USA, Washington. Yeah, up in Washington. Greg flew it here the other day, so I'm going to be asking him like numbers that I don't know firsthand, but we're going to fly it today. Made in Washington. They started making them in like 2017, 2018, and as of today, there's like 130 of them out in the wild. There's 4 models: the Yellowstone, the Glacier, the Redwood, and the Cascade. They're all the same engine, all the same airframe, but it's levels of equipment. This is the Redwood, which is the most well-equipped one, and you'll see why when we look inside it. It's all metal. It's got an 0200 in it, Continental. It's basically, if a 172 and a Skycatcher had an illicit relationship, this would be the kid. It's very, very interesting. No struts, big, thick spar, and just a lot of very interesting detail about it. So I was surprised how much I liked it, and let's have a closer look at why. So the first thing is, it's metal. The whole thing is metal. It's not fiberglass. It's metal and rivets, and they make them with white painted panels, pre-painted. Then they assemble it, and then they put a wrap on it. So this graphic is a wrap. It's a wrap. It's like here's my Vashon. It's all the fashion. You're not in any danger. It's the Ranger. No, it's not that kind of wrap. It's a wrap where it's stuck over the top on the sheet metal, and this is the redwood scheme with the trees. And personally, I would put a little Bigfoot or something behind one of them. But it's nice. It's utility, and it's backcountry, and it's IFR, and it's a trainer. But it's not composite. It's very conventional, old school metal. Made in America, 0200. And some of the features on it are very familiar. Free castering nose wheel, steered by differential braking, conventional gear, fixed pitch, the 0200 engine, and things like this. Look at the door handle. Keep it flush, I'll show you why. This opens all the way around to a little popper on the cowling, and stays there. And then there's a little release right here that recloses it. So if you're loading in your camping gear, which you will do because you can sleep in these, I'll show you that in a minute. Look at the size of that thing. And then size, I brought along a tape measure because I've just measured this. It's 44 inches wide. And just to see what that compared with in the GA everyday world, a 182 is 44 inches wide. And just for fun, I measured a Mooney. It was 41 inches wide, so it's only 3 inches wider than a Mooney, but it's the width of a 182. It's huge inside. Okay, let's just go around the whole thing. There's so many little features on it. Like the fuel tank, it's 12.5 gallons a side. It holds 25 gallons. It burns 4 or 5 an hour, so it's got 500-mile range. It does 100 knots. The fuel tank is here, forward of the spar, and it's this unit. And if you undo these screws all the way around over the top and disconnect it from the fuel line, the fuel tank comes right out of the wing. It's brilliant. This huge pitot tube, I don't know why it has to be so huge. Anybody who does, let me know in the comments. Pitot tube, and then underneath here is the fuel vent into the fuel tank, of course. Metal, big, chunky, thick leading edge. This spar is 9 inches thick, goes right through the cabin. There's no strut. so it has to be big. It's very strong. All metal, wingtip, LED landing lights, LED strobes, Ranger on the tip. And this is like a little bit of a fence. Obviously the wing ends here. You'll see it from behind. It's just like a sort of wing end vortex reducer. Very light and responsive ailerons. It's a stick inside, but we'll see that. And then this, I mean, it's something to do with drag, it's something to do with stall, it's something to do with stole. But somebody aerodynamically who knows more than me about this, can you put in the comments what that does? It's one on both ailerons. Maybe breaks the suction, makes it more effective, not sure. Conventional flaps, all metal, riveted. Conventional flaps, 2 stages on a switch, and then the other wing's the same, but very well thought out. Let's put the flaps down and have a look at that. Okay, just going to look at how the flaps come down. Master on there, flaps are here, very handy for the throttle, and you literally go 20, 1 stage, landing, 40, 2nd stage, and then to put it back, it's the exact reverse. It doesn't go all the way. The 1st stage will be back to 20, and then you hit it again, back to 0. And it's just, look at the ergonomics of it. Very, very well laid out. Flaps. And then from the outside, they look like this. That's the 1st stage. That would be takeoff. 2nd stage, landing, or very short field, slow takeoff, and then up. Very like a Cessna, just electric motor, but such a simple. And you've got a flap indicator right here on the dash, on the dynons. A little arc that shows you the 20 and the 40. But we'll look more at this in a minute. Off. Very big doors, and open it just like that. Put that away, because if you leave it there, it'll touch the cowling. So you put that away, open it, and it just goes click. And there's a little button there like on a coat. And if you pull it, it won't go. Pull that, it releases it. So you got enormous access. And what I was saying about that handle, if that happened to be there, there's a little bit of abrasion tape stuck on there in an arc. So you'll feel it touch, and it won't reach to click. So they've taken care of any scratches that would be there on the cowling. But just make sure that that's centered. And then a window is just a slidey window on both sides. A really good real door handle, and then latch here, open and close. And all this is metal and riveted. Strong, functional, efficient. Another thing about the door is the latch. The latches, there's 2. There's one here, one up here. Both, of course, operated here. So when you close it, you don't have to slam it. You just go click, done, and opening it, you'll feel it go 1, 2, and it opens. And there's a hole here and a hole up there where it grips it. And then always remember to make sure that's flush and click. So no whistling, no open gaps, no air noise, nothing. It's, again, very well designed. Okay, just walking around back behind the wings now. Fuselage, big cabin, big, and no baggage door. But you'll see it doesn't matter. When we're inside, you'll see why that doesn't matter. But it's big. It's as big as the 182, and the wrap is on everything. 393 Vashon Ranger, Victor Romeo. Serial number data plate under there. Tail is very conventional. That's what's nice about this, is it's new. It's a 2025, but it's very conventional. Trim tab, hinged in the middle, not on the top or bottom skin. Flush, smooth sheet metal. Same with the rudder. Very big rudder, and it's got a trim tab hinged in the middle. And taxiing it, I noticed that you can actually steer it around on the ground easily with rudder. You don't have to add too much brake unless you're making a hard turn. We'll look at the nose wheel. It's a 90-degree free castering nose wheel, but just substantial and very well built. This is the You have to be a Texan to get what's going on up there, but this is the redwood scheme on it. So it's very... Greg will tell us more in a minute about the flight characteristics because he flew it down here and we're going to fly it as well. But big control surfaces, light inputs, very responsive. So somebody who wanted an advanced IFR trainer without spending $7 million, you can buy a plane like this. I mean, this plane has 23 hours on it and it's a 2025. It's 150 grand. You can't buy a good 172, well you can, 172, but it would be 50 years old. It's great. So an interesting design on the brakes. They're not sticking up from the floor, they're hanging down from above. And when you're flying it, your foot is on the ground and you're pressing on this bar, which sounds really obvious, but that is obviously only rudder. If you put your foot higher up and press in on the silver bit, now you're on the brakes. So you don't inadvertently drag brakes, and you almost have to consciously lift your feet and put your toes onto the brakes, which I think is brilliant. It steers very well on the ground without a lot of brakes, and then if you need brakes, you just can gently press them. I can reach the brake with my foot on the floor, but if you really want to use them, you put your feet up. So that is another thing that's been well thought out. So adjustable seats and rudder pedals for different size pilots. The backrest is pretty much where it is, the angle. The base can go up and down by adding and removing the cushion that's underneath it, as we showed earlier. But the main thing is, for the basketball players amongst us who fancy a Vashon Ranger, for the taller person, these pedals that we looked at earlier with the internal brakes, they've got a bar up here that slides, and you pull that pin, and there's about another 5 inches that those pedals could slide away from you. So you don't adjust the seat, your base goes up and down, pedals go further away, which is good because your relative reach to the controls stays the same relative to the base of the seat. So as we look around it, we see all these innovations, and it's actually quite interesting because I don't know Vashon Rangers. I'm discovering it while we're looking at it and becoming more and more impressed with it, with everything I see. That is excellent.
Okay.
So we're in the cockpit with the Dynons on, and we've got Greg here, the #1 salesman at skywagons.com, because he flies corporate jets and knows more about this stuff than I do. Yeah. But the basics are, everything's on here. You've got fuel gauge, you've got the tachometer, the oil, the temp, the pressure, the usual stuff. And then Greg, give us an overview of the big stuff, what it's like for being like IFR.
So it's a standard attitude AHAR system. So you got your airspeed on your left, you got your turn and bank over the center, and then you got your turn coordinator, the ball right above it. You got your pitch attitude and
flight director. If we turn it on, we get the magenta, and there's your flight director, and then you can set. And that's synthetic vision, right?
Yes, that's in synthetic vision mode. So you get the terrain, and then coming over to the right hand side, you can set an altitude, and then it tells you your altitude, and then your vertical speed, and then vertical speed in a readout, baro, and then your directional gyro, your compass. If we were to put a flight plan in, we get a magenta line, and then a course line.
And it can be, you can configure it any way you want, right? You can put up engine over there, map over here. You can.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy too. You just click display, and then you can go split the content. So I still got my AHARs over here, and then I have a full screen for engine.
That is what I would like, because there's your EGT, CHT, the RPM, oil pressures and temps, battery.
It is easier to read, and then you can even put this over on. You can change it on the MFD, so you could have your engine screen there, and if you wanted a full screen here, you can see everything. So you got your attitude map.
In the Challenger 604 that you fly, is it as good as this?
This is actually better. Yeah, you actually can see detail. It's the old Collins ProLine 21 on the Challenger, so that's like early 2000s.
And this even's got an autopilot, right?
Yep, 2-axis autopilot.
Altitude hold,
wing leveler. So if you get scared, you just press that button, and the autopilot will snap the wings level.
And what would this do? What's its capability, IFR? Would it fly? It's on. Would it fly an approach to the ground? And, I mean, what would it do?
Yeah, You could take it all the way down to the ground, yeah. You just have to make sure you're in the VNAV mode if you were to shoot like an RNAV approach.
So you're not going to be limited at all by this panel?
No, I couldn't find any limitations when I flew it.
Yeah. And your normal plane is a 182 RG, and you were eyeballing this.
Yes.
And why wouldn't you buy this? The only reason?
Only reason is the 182's got a little bit more useful load and speed.
Speed and useful load.
So, I mean, this would be, but this is the same price as my 182.
I know.
So,
well, the way I look at this, I mean, this is a 200 cubic inch, burning 5 gallons an hour on an 0200. My Chevy truck is 360 cubic inch.
Yep.
If you put 5 gallons in this, you could fly it to San Francisco from here for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
My truck, if I put 5 gallons in it and started the engine, it ran out of gas somewhere halfway down the hill towards Sacramento.
Probably.
So,
yep.
I mean, you're going to get there faster because you're not stopping for fuel. You're using less. It's just, I mean, even though it's slower, it's just very well equipped for, like, if I was going to learn instruments and fly it, this would be...
This would be a great flight school aircraft replacement for the 172s. If you're, I mean, and it's the same price as a 172.
Yeah.
A used 172.
And this is a 2025.
And this is 2025.
2025 172 is what, 750 grand and 2-year wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So don't know what the wait time is for the Rangers.
Oh, and these are factory built, by the way. This isn't a home built. This isn't experimental. This is a light sport, and it's factory built. You buy it like this, of one of the 4 options. And we were talking about Mosaic. This has a gross weight of 1320 and a useful load of
475 if you don't want to be in a light
475.
sport.
But with Mosaic now, there is no, what's the upper limit on the Mosaic gross weights?
There is no more gross
So
weight. It's
okay.
now a stall speed
So right.
of 61 knots or slower.
So this is
light
way
sport.
less than 61 knots, and its useful load was restricted by its upper weight as a light sport. And now the upper weight's gone. I have to find out if anybody's watching knows this. Let us know, because if the upper weight is gone, can you put in more than 450 pounds of where is its useful load go?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a massive cabin in it, which we'll show you now. But that is an interesting question that somebody could answer. So if you went camping in this, because it's a Ranger and it's a backcountry kind of plane, this is what you do. I'm just going to do one seat, but obviously you do both. Pull up this, pull the crotch belt through, pull it off the Velcro. That's a pillow. Leave that one there. That's your height adjuster, by the way. If you take it off, this cushion will sit lower and you'll have a lower stance in it. But that's filling the gap right there. Then unpop of these and take that off and hand it to your assistant. Then this lies flat. Then you put in your mattress in the backcountry of Idaho, and you put your pillow off there, and you sleep full length, feet out, inside on a campground, out in a grass runway in Idaho. There's not many planes you can do that in. I can see the Spa from here. So not only do you get the pillow, which is there, which you could put under your head, these two can sit in front of the fire leaning up against a tree. It's luxury. So getting in and out, you think big door, lots of room, but see the closeness here? So I found the best way to get in and out of these, and I'm sure Vashon designed this in, is you get in with both legs on the left and then just lift your right leg over the stick, and then you don't have to fight it. And look how conventional that is. Left hand stick. So a Cub is like this. Right hand stick. But a Cessna is left hand on the yoke, hand on the throttle. So left hand on the yoke makes sense with left hand on the stick, hand on the throttle. So ergonomically, it is correct. And I'll soon find that out for sure because I'm about to fly it for the first time on camera. This is how you get out. Stick under the knee, get out, look dignified, bam. Okay, under here is a Cessna 150 engine. It's 100 horsepower, 75 kilowatts, 100 horsepower, 0200 4-cylinder Continental, 100 horsepower. I'm not going to take it off because there's a screw here, there's a rod that goes through like on an RV on the side here, and it's 4 screws there, so it would be just, and then all we'd see is the 0200. So it's 4-cylinder, air-cooled, carbureted, 100 horsepower, bulletproof technology. I mean, this has been in Cessna 150s since the 50s. It's just modern. And the in Reno, they race this engine at 4,000 RPM in the Formula Series. So it's not shy about putting out the power if it has to be. So it's a very good, long-lived, reliable engine. It's not geared. It's not 2-stroke. It's avgas. It's direct drive. It's 100 horsepower. And this is a fixed pitch Cato with a nickel leading edge fixed pitch prop. So it's kind of 172, 150 type layout, which is very good for training. And that nose wheel, okay, nose wheel comes off the ground by magic. So look, it casts us to there and to there, and it's only limited by these bolts on top. So it won't swivel around in its own space, but it's just steered by braking. There's no direct steering to it at all. That's just along for the ride. Okay, auto down. Another perfect landing. Bam. Nice. Main gear, I think that is a composite chunk, and the axle is metal and is bolted to it, but it's thick. It's like at least 3/4 of an inch thick. A single puck caliper brake on a disc, more than enough for a plane of this weight. Easy maintenance and very conventional design, and only 3 of them. So I am about to fly it, but Greg has spent 4 hours in it. So give us your first-hand experience about performance, range, fuel burn, etc.
Flies like a Vans RV12, basically. It's very lightweight on the controls. Burns 4.5 gallons an hour. Granted, I was up at 9,500 feet, but it got up there no problem. The takeoff, I mean, I maybe used 500 feet of runway with 20 degrees of flaps.
First time ever?
First time ever, yep.
Okay. What was the climb out like?
I was probably doing about 600 feet a minute.
Okay. Out of Bend, which is 2,500 feet.
3,400.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And then, yeah, cruised all the way down here in about 3.5 hours. And excuse me.
So that's my game. Turn your phone off. Grrr. Sorry. So 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours. I just set the autopilot.
So did you feel, everything. I mean, you've flown a lot of different planes and big ones.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything where you got into it and thought, ooh, I didn't expect that? Or what was it like? Or was it just...
It just felt comfortable. It was like, I could take this anywhere. I mean, I was flying over the Sierra Nevada mountains. I went direct from Bend to Placerville, so there's a lot of hilly terrain out there, and I was like, where do I put this thing down? And it's only got 25 hours on it. And there'd be like little open patches without trees, and I go, I could fit in there, there.
Yeah.
I could fit it anywhere.
Yeah, it's a little camping machine.
Mm-hmm. Very responsive.
Yeah, and landing
fun.
It? Any hassles?
No.
Full flaps? How fast?
I was probably doing maybe 50.
Okay.
55, I think, is what the book says you should be doing, but...
Well, I've been listening to all this, and now I'm going to fly it and see if I get away with it.
Good luck. You'll love it.
I'll need it. Okay, let's fire it up. Master, alternator, avionics, mags, mixture, crack throttle, clear!
Dine on Skyview.
Good.
Good morning.
Okay, engine. EGT, CHT, oil pressure and temp, flap positions, gas, battery volt, trim, RPM, tack again. Let's make that full screen.
Okay.
And engine along the bottom.
And what?
Engine along the bottom. Bam. Okay. Okay, the run up is going to be 1700. Max. Both. carb heat. Trim. Neutral. Flaps. For takeoff. 1 click. Going up to 20. 22 actually. Idle. Controls full and free. Okay. Okay, autopilot settings prior to takeoff.
Alright, so we got our autopilot control. So we're going to set our altitude, and we're going to be looking in that window there. Traffic pattern altitude 3400, so I'm just scrolling up until I see 3400. I'm going to turn the flight director on, and then we're going to take off of 23. So on the heading bug, I'm bugging 230. And that's there. And then once we line up on the runway, if I go into heading mode, there we go. There are our flight director bars moving, telling us we want to turn to the left to get to that 230 heading. And then we'll probably climb out. We'll do vertical speed for now, and we'll set about a 400 feet per minute vertical speed. And then we can just check all of our settings, our autopilot settings. Heading 230, vertical speed 400 up to an altitude of 3,400 feet. So as soon as you take off, after about 200-300 feet, all you have to do is click the autopilot button, and it'll climb out on that heading and at that vertical speed.
All right, let's test it. Placerville traffic, experimental correction, light sport, 393 Victor Romeo, departing runway 23, local flight, Placerville. Final is clear.
Right side is clear and above.
So I just hit AP once she flies?
Yep.
Good lord.
I mean, I'd give it like 200 feet and then...
Yeah.
Yep.
20, 30, coming up on 40, she's getting keen, I can feel it. Nice. Flaps are coming up. And then autopilot.
So autopilot engage. And we got lost all our settings, so I'm going to quickly go heading. Vertical speed. Tap the brakes. And
Autopilot.
there you go.
Go on.
Yep.
Flight director.
And then if you want to do an indicated airspeed, so let's say we want to climb out at VY, we can switch over to IAS
Autopilot mode.
and then climb out.
Altitude.
Look at it, locked on.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm backing her off to 2300. It's fighting the rudder. I was pressing a bit of rudder
Oh yeah?
and it was fighting me. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, now make it turn left 90 degrees.
So with your heading bug,
Right here.
scroll to about 90 degrees there.
There it is.
Or 200 feet to or 100 feet to level off, and it's going to capture.
Autopilot mode.
There you go. It's warning you. It's going to capture 3,400 feet.
All this in a tiny light sport plane.
Yep.
Perfect. So it's captured the altitude. Now we turn left again on downwind.
Yep. So if you want to take the heading bug and
Wind that in.
bug it to like a 050 heading.
Back off on the RPM a bit more.
Overall traffic, aircraft 72, hotel, 5 miles east.
And remember, head out of the cockpit.
Yep.
We're all looking at the games here, but we've got to keep watching too. Placerville. 3 Victor Romeos on left downwind, 23 at Placerville. Brilliant. Okay, she's leveled off. She's trimmed. I'm putting her to 2300. Exactly. What?
Yep.
Better than your Challenger?
Oh yeah, so much better.
Look, it's pretty scenic out there too.
It is. It's fall is finally here.
I could live with this. Get to know it inside out.
Yeah. And it doesn't take long to learn.
No. Well, that is very impressive. The whole thing has been very impressive.
Yes.
That's what we're doing now. We're doing 80 on downwind. Probably going to get rid of some speed and land it. So
It even gives you your wind, crosswind.
Crosswind component. Woohoo. Okay.
So then if you want to start descending, you got to set your altitude.
Now I'm just going to land. Let's just disengage. Autopilot.
Yep.
A little warn me audibly.
Yep.
Autopilot. Disconnect.
She's very polite.
Yes,
Look, and its hands off still. And it's so nicely rigged. And it's so light. In fact, let's just do a little turn out here, rather than just have it drone around the pattern on autopilot.
All right.
I'm going to do a 360 to the right and come around on the base. Well, a 275. Okay. It's so well balanced in both. I mean, just feel how that is. I mean, you flew it down here from Burns, but it's so well balanced in both axes, and all three axes.
Yep. And they've designed it to get rid of a lot of the adverse yaw. That's why it's got such a big tail back there.
Classical traffic here, control. Classical traffic, customer control report. 45 from that company.
Okay, someone's on the 45. We'll turn in. Placerville 393, Victor Romeo is on left base for 23 at Placerville. So it took off at 45. I've just got to land somewhere above that.
Yep.
It's in the white arc, which is impressive from 90.
Leaving altitude.
One stage of flaps. Placerville, 3 Victor Romeos on left base to final for full stop on 23 at Placerville. Whoops. Camera never lies. There's not a lot of trimming going on. I'm not trimming. It's sort of, it just stays. I mean, I literally have hardly touched the trim since we took off. The autopilot did some on climb out.
Yeah.
But I've barely, and we're doing 52 at the moment.
Yep.
52.
And you don't really need a trim for it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just stable all around.
The 419 uniform entering left downwind.
Traffic.
Placerville.
Oh, there is traffic up there. We're still up. Okay, I'm doing 53. I'll just hold her off and let her decide. That counts.
Well done.
Not bad for first landing ever.
Yeah.
We lived, and the plane's reusable. There's not a lot that I've seen in this, learning about it, just by having it, that is not impressive. More than I expected. Much more than I expected.
Yeah.
Placerville, 3 Victor Romeo's clear of 2-3 at Placerville. So there it is, a very impressive little plane that I actually would, let's call up the manufacturer and see whether we can be a distributor for these.
Okay.
I mean, this is actually a very, very nice plane, and reasonably priced too.
Yes.
So this is Mark at Skywagon University with Greg doing a quick demo and run around the pattern and looking around this Vashon Ranger 7. If you liked it, subscribe on the little link below, and you'll get notifications if you click on the bell. And keep an eye open also. Coming up in the next 2 or 3 weeks is the other channel, which we're starting up, called Plane Crazy Life, which is going to be brilliant. So thanks very much for watching.